I was initially part of Microsoft, which was a huge company, and it valued safety and progress at a pace which can be manageable, and ultimately you don't make a lot of mistakes but you progress slowly. Over the time that I have seen, what industry has sort of shifted now towards is for everybody to move a lot faster. If some things get broken, then you quickly fix them. Like what the ethos now I think has sort of shifted is basically people don't really weld anymore in software engineering. They just patch it and move ahead, and ultimately because things eventually couple of years down the line will eventually again get changed. So the focus is more on building fast, getting stuff out, and then seeing how it reacts, how the users respond to it, and then sort of adapting and growing out that. Industry is, I feel like, almost very similar now, just because with COVID and with the remote work, everybody was sort of working in their own spaces and used to collaborating remotely. So within Rippling as well, half of my team is in US. Outside of it, I feel like within India there is, because Indian society is very conjoined and there's a much more camaraderie here than compared to a US society. So working there versus working here is different on a day-to-day basis, but from a social standpoint, from a work standpoint, I feel like things are getting more and more aligned. So fresh out of college, I think one is the core hunger to learn and sort of get better at what you do. That is obviously needed, but from a skill set perspective, I think what people are looking at is basically people should have strong fundamentals. They should have core understanding of what they are trying to do. Through that understanding, you can build out systems, right? Without that core level fundamental understanding of how things work, you will never be able to scale out your skill set. The other thing I think that is happening, what we are looking at, is how much you can sort of use the tooling that is available to you, be it AI, be it sort of IDs and whatever. So how well versed are you with the current technologies? The most of the engineering curriculum is very theoretical. I feel like the industry demands a much more practical standpoint. We were lucky enough at our college to have that sense of practical work, project work, internships. But I have seen from a lot of my peers that their college experiences were not like that, and they had to sort of learn a lot of things by themselves. Right, you knew the theory, but until and unless you sort of do some projects or you are well versed in you actually build out something from your scratch yourself. I feel like education and the sort of process of teaching is one of the things that has remained the same through the years, and I feel like definitely we need much more forward-looking sort of institutes which can provide much more practical knowledge to people so that they can sort of hit the ground running. To be very honest, when I am hiring for my team, basically I don't really look at the colleges or degrees or where they graduate from. What I tend to more focus toward was the work experience, either and for fresh out of college, what kind of things that they have worked on. Because for me, how I gauge somebody is what they can do, not where they graduated from. Right, it's just there's always a correlation between the colleges and the skills that you sort of get from them. But I feel like from a traditional college, just looking at the college and then looking at the candidate and evaluate the candidate just from where they were, I don't think tech companies usually do that, because it doesn't really matter in the day to day. I would say in terms of CV, what would matter is the kind of projects that you have worked on. If you have sort of any internships that you have done, which would give me a better understanding of what kind of experiences that you have had. If you were suppose part of, let's say, a big tech company, so I know that you already are well versed with how systems run and how sort of you would have an understanding as to how to ship code and how to sort of build something while talking to other teams. If you have worked in a startup, then I would know that you would have an ability to unblock yourself and then sort of find a path, figure out a way, and then move forward. I think what you have and the sort of path that you are taking is I echo that vision. When you say that do you have the potential to match that pedigree, yes, for sure. I feel like in this path you have that potential.